Meta just mass hired from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google, spent $14.3 billion acquiring Scale AI, rebuilt its entire AI stack from scratch, and 9 months later dropped a model that is closed source. Yes, Meta, the company that built its AI reputation on open source Llama, just went proprietary. Here is exactly what Muse Spark means for your business, where it actually beats the competition, and where it falls short. Let me set the stage. In April 2025, Meta released Llama 4. It was widely considered a dud. The response inside Meta was dramatic. Mark Zuckerberg created a brand new division called Meta Superintelligence Labs, hired Alexander Wang, the co-founder of Scale AI, as Meta's first ever chief AI officer, and took a 49% stake in Scale AI for $14.3 billion. Meta then poached over 50 researchers from rival labs. 9 months later, on April 8, 2026, that team shipped Muse Spark. Think of it this way, if Llama was Meta's open-source experiment letting everyone tinker with the engine, Muse Spark is Meta locking the hood and saying, "We will drive this car ourselves, at least for now." The model currently powers the Meta AI assistant on the Meta AI app and website. It is rolling out to WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, and Ray-Ban smart glasses in coming weeks. A private API preview is available to select partners only. Everyone else? You wait. Now, what can this model actually do? Muse Spark is Meta's first reasoning model. Unlike previous Llama models that produced instant answers, Muse Spark works through problems step by step, tries different strategies when its first approach fails, and can spin up multiple sub-agents to reason about different parts of a task in parallel. Meta calls this contemplating mode. In that mode, the model scored 58% on humanity's last exam, matching GPT 5.4 Pro and beating Gemini DeepThink. That is a serious result. It is natively multimodal. It takes in text, images, and voice, though at launch it only outputs text. Meta built its health reasoning layer with input from over 1,000 physicians, and on the HealthBench hard benchmark, Muse Spark scored 42.8%, beating every rival model including GPT 5.4. It also includes a shopping mode that draws on creator and brand content across Meta's platforms to generate product recommendations. And Meta claims the model achieves the same capability as Llama 4 Maverick using 10 times less compute. If that holds up, the efficiency gains alone are significant. But here is what is not impressive. On the GPQA Diamond benchmark for PhD-level reasoning, Muse Spark scored 89.5%. Gemini 3.1 Pro scored 94.3. Claude Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.4 both scored above 92. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, Muse Spark ranked fourth with a score of 52, behind Gemini and GPT at 57 and Claude at 53. And Meta itself acknowledges it still lags rivals in coding performance and long-horizon agentic tasks. Competitive? Yes. Dominant? No. So, what actually changes for you? A few things worth paying attention to. First, if your business runs on Meta's ecosystem, this is immediately relevant. 3 billion people use Meta's apps. Muse Spark will power the AI assistant across all of them. If you market on Instagram or Facebook, the new shopping mode means AI-driven product recommendations pulled from creator content you are already producing. That changes how discovery works on these platforms. Second, if you are in health tech or wellness, Meta just built a model that outperforms every competitor on health benchmarks, trained with data curated by 1,000 physicians. Imagine a user snapping a photo of their lunch and getting instant detailed nutritional analysis inside WhatsApp. If your product competes in that space, you need to understand what Meta is offering for free to 3 billion people. Third, the parallel sub-agent architecture matters for anyone building complex workflows. A user can ask Meta AI to plan a family trip, and the system drafts an itinerary, compares destinations, and finds activities simultaneously. That is not a chatbot. That is closer to a project coordinator. Now, the risks and limitations you need to know. The closed source pivot is the biggest strategic question mark. Meta built its AI developer community on open weights. Developers, startups, and researchers who built on Llama now have no access to Muse Spark's weights and cannot fine-tune it. Meta says it hopes to open-source future versions, but hope is not a commitment. Privacy is the second concern. A model deeply integrated into WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, now expanding into health queries, has access to an extraordinary amount of personal data. TechCrunch specifically flagged that using Muse Spark requires logging in with a Meta account. If you are advising clients on data governance, this needs to be on your radar. Third, these benchmarks are self-reported. Meta published them. Independent verification is still pending. We saw benchmark concerns with Llama 4 as well. Until third-party evaluators confirm the results, treat the numbers as directional, not definitive. And finally, Meta's own technical blog admits the model has gaps in long-horizon agentic systems and coding workflows. If your use case depends on complex, multi-step coding or extended autonomous task execution, Muse Spark is not your best option today. Here is what I would do in the next 30 days. 1. Go to meta.ai right now and test Muse Spark on tasks relevant to your business. Try the visual reasoning. Upload product images, charts, or documents, and see how it performs compared to ChatGPT or Gemini. Form your own opinion. 2. If you run marketing on Meta platforms, start monitoring how the new shopping mode surfaces your content. This could reshape organic discovery and paid strategy on Instagram and Facebook. Experiment early. 3. If you are building on Llama models today, do not abandon that work, but start contingency planning. Meta's strategic direction is shifting toward proprietary. Evaluate whether your dependency on Meta's open-source ecosystem carries more risk than it did 6 months ago. 4. If you qualify, apply for the private API preview. Early access to a competitive model with Meta's distribution gives you a testing advantage before wider rollout. 5. Brief your legal and compliance team on the privacy implications of AI-powered health features and shopping recommendations tied to Meta accounts, especially if you operate in regulated industries. Meta spent $14 billion and 9 months to prove it could compete again. Muse Spark is not the best AI model on every benchmark, but it is the first credible reasoning model from a company that can deploy it instantly to 3 billion users. That combination of capability and distribution is what makes this launch matter. If you want to stay ahead of moves like this, subscribe to AI Blueprint. We break down what every major AI release actually means for your business. No hype, just the facts you need to make better decisions.